When considering hiring temporary electricians through an agency, several factors are important, especially concerning insurance and agency selection. Here is a breakdown to guide you. Firstly, it is important to understand the temporary labor agencies available. Several agencies operate in and around Paramus, New Jersey. These include Randstad, Manpower, Aerotech, Kelly Services, and Express Employment Professionals. Each agency specializes in different areas, so it is important to research and select one that meets your specific needs. Secondly, understanding the insurance requirements for hiring electricians in New Jersey is critical. There are several types of insurance that are typically required. The first one is workers' compensation insurance. This is required by law in New Jersey and provides coverage for employees who are injured or become ill on the job. It covers medical expenses and lost wages for the employee. The second type of insurance is general liability insurance. This protects your business from claims of bodily injury or property damage caused by your employees. It covers legal fees and settlements if you are sued. The third type of insurance to consider is commercial auto insurance. This is required if you or your employees will be driving company vehicles as part of their work. It covers damages to vehicles and injuries to people in the event of an accident. When hiring electricians through a temporary agency, it is important to verify that the agency has the necessary insurance coverage in place. You should also request a certificate of insurance from the agency as proof of coverage. This certificate will list the types of insurance coverage the agency has, as well as the policy limits and expiration dates. Here are additional considerations. Firstly, licensing and qualifications. Ensure that the electricians provided by the agency are properly licensed and qualified to perform the work required. Verify their credentials and experience. Secondly, background checks. Inquire about the agency's background check process for their employees. This helps ensure that you are hiring trustworthy individuals. Thirdly, safety training. Confirm that the electricians have received adequate safety training and are familiar with safety protocols. This reduces the risk of accidents and injuries on the job site. Fourthly, contract terms. Review the contract terms with the agency carefully. Pay attention to payment terms, cancellation policies, and liability clauses. Fifthly, references. Request references from the agency and contact them to inquire about their experience working with the agency. Sixthly, communication. Establish clear lines of communication with the agency to address any issues or concerns that may arise. Seventhly, on-site supervision. Determine the level of on-site supervision that will be provided for the temporary electricians. Eighthly, project scope. Clearly define the scope of work for the temporary electricians to avoid any misunderstandings or disputes. Ninthly, compliance. Ensure that the agency complies with all applicable labor laws and regulations. Tenthly, insurance verification. Always verify the agency's insurance coverage and request a certificate of insurance before hiring any temporary electricians. Regarding insurance, understanding the specifics of each type of coverage is important. For workers' compensation, understand the coverage limits and what types of injuries or illnesses are covered. Also, understand the process for filing a claim if an employee is injured on the job. For general liability, understand what types of claims are covered and what the policy limits are. Also, understand the process for reporting a claim. For commercial auto insurance, understand the coverage limits and what types of vehicles are covered. Also, understand the process for reporting an accident. It is important to choose an agency that has experience in the electrical industry and that understands the specific insurance requirements for electricians in New Jersey. You can also check with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development to see if there are any complaints against the agency. Remember, hiring temporary electricians can be a cost-effective way to meet your project needs, but it is important to do your research and choose an agency that you can trust. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that you are hiring qualified and insured electricians who can safely and effectively complete your project. Also, when evaluating potential agencies, consider the following. Firstly, specialization. Some agencies specialize in specific industries or types of labor. Look for an agency that has experience in the electrical industry. Secondly, reputation. Check the agency's reputation by reading online reviews and talking to other businesses that have used their services. Thirdly, screening process. Ask about the agency's screening process for temporary employees. They should include background checks, drug tests, and skills assessments. Fourthly, training programs. Some agencies offer training programs to help temporary employees improve their skills and knowledge. Fifthly, customer service. Evaluate the agency's customer service by contacting them with questions and concerns. Sixthly, pricing structure. Understand the agency's pricing structure and how they charge for their services. This should include hourly rates, overtime rates, and any additional fees. Seventhly, contract terms. Carefully review the agency's contract terms before signing anything. This should include information about payment terms, cancellation policies, and liability clauses. Eighthly, insurance coverage. Make sure that the agency has adequate insurance coverage to protect you from liability in case of an accident or injury. Ninthly, safety record. Ask about the agency's safety record and what steps they take to ensure the safety of their temporary employees. Tenthly, compliance with labor laws. Ensure that the agency is in compliance with all applicable labor laws and regulations. Remember to keep detailed records of all communications with the agency, including emails, phone calls, and meetings. This will help you resolve any disputes that may arise. By following these tips, you can find a reputable temporary labor agency that can provide you with qualified and insured electricians for your projects. And always remember to prioritize safety and compliance to protect your business and your workers. Furthermore, it's crucial to understand the legal aspects of hiring temporary workers. Misclassifying employees as temporary workers to avoid paying benefits or taxes can result in significant penalties. Ensure that the agency you work with properly classifies their employees and complies with all applicable labor laws. Another important aspect to consider is the potential for long-term employment. If you find that a temporary electrician is a good fit for your company, you may want to consider offering them a permanent position. This can be a great way to build a strong and reliable workforce. When evaluating temporary electricians for potential permanent positions, consider their skills, experience, work ethic, and attitude. Also, consider their ability to work well with others and their willingness to learn new things. Remember that hiring temporary workers is just one way to meet your staffing needs. There are other options available, such as hiring permanent employees or outsourcing certain tasks. Evaluate all of your options carefully and choose the one that best meets your needs. Finally, always prioritize safety and compliance when hiring temporary electricians. This will help you protect your business and your workers from potential risks. So, to summarize, the process of hiring temporary electricians involves firstly, identifying reputable agencies in areas like Paramus, New Jersey. Secondly, understanding the critical insurance requirements like workers' compensation, general liability, and commercial auto insurance. Thirdly, always verifying the agency's insurance coverage by requesting a certificate of insurance. Fourthly, checking the electrician's licensing and qualifications. Fifthly, ensuring background checks are conducted. Sixthly, confirming adequate safety training. Seventhly, carefully reviewing contract terms. Eighthly, requesting references. Ninthly, establishing clear communication channels. Tenthly, determining the level of on-site supervision. 11thly, clearly defining the project scope. 12thly, ensuring compliance with labor laws. 13thly, maintaining detailed records of all communications. By adhering to these steps, you can confidently and safely hire temporary electricians for your project. Furthermore, always ensure that the agency you choose is experienced in the electrical industry and understands the specific insurance requirements for electricians in New Jersey. Additionally, checking with the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development can reveal any complaints against the agency, ensuring you make an informed decision. By prioritizing these considerations, you can ensure that your business operates safely and efficiently while meeting its project needs. Also, remember the importance of verifying licenses and qualifications of temporary electricians. Checking credentials and experience ensures the work is performed by competent individuals. Verifying an agency's background check process is crucial for hiring trustworthy personnel. Ensuring electricians have received adequate safety training reduces the risk of accidents. Carefully reviewing contract terms prevents misunderstandings. Requesting and contacting references provide insights into the agency's performance. Establishing clear communication channels allows for addressing any issues promptly. Clearly defining the project scope avoids disputes. Ensuring compliance with labor laws protects your business. Always verify insurance coverage by requesting a certificate of insurance. By focusing on these key aspects, you can ensure the safety and success of your projects while working with temporary electricians. Also, it is vital to remember that hiring temporary electricians offers a flexible solution for staffing needs, but thorough preparation is essential. By meticulously checking qualifications, ensuring proper insurance, and maintaining clear communication, businesses can leverage this option effectively. Furthermore, consider the agency's training programs to ensure electricians possess the skills needed for the job. Evaluate customer service to address concerns promptly. Understand the pricing structure to manage cost effectively. By focusing on these key aspects, businesses can successfully integrate temporary electricians into their workforce. Moreover, ensure contract terms cover payment, cancellation, and liability. Check the agency's safety record to ensure safe working practices. Always comply with labor laws to avoid legal issues. Keep records of all communications to resolve disputes effectively. Additionally, consider conducting site-specific safety orientations. Encourage open communication between temporary and permanent staff. Ensure compliance with all site safety regulations. By following these guidelines, businesses can create a safe and efficient working environment for all personnel. Lastly, remember that while hiring temporary electricians offers flexibility, it is crucial to maintain the same standards of safety and compliance as with permanent staff. By prioritizing these considerations, businesses can ensure that their projects are completed safely, efficiently, and within budget.